Hey everyone, I'm starting a new series of Axure Noob to Master, from how to get started to how to make interactive graphs, how to use map, how to use variables to make it lifelike prototypes which you can user test and do so within days. Today's topic is just to how to get started. It's for new ones to Axure. If you know exactly how to use Axure already, you're gonna have to wait until I release other tutorials and lessons, or skip it if it's already released at the time of your watching. Skip it to other interesting bits. I'm gonna create a specific playlist for that. But to get started, let's dive right into it. Now I'm gonna tell you exactly what you can do with the tool itself and what you should focus on to get started. One of the key areas is this canvas. What I would do if I would get started, I would probably create just one page to start off with. And work one page at a time, which is pretty good workflow to do because then you don't get lost and you don't overcommit and you can keep it lean. What I would do next, it's also I would define what sort of dimensions I want this prototype to be. In following sessions, I'm going to talk about responsive prototypes and how to, let's say, make it mobile and desktop and make it transform depending on what device the users are going to view your prototype. But for now, let's say do web and just to show you how it's going to look like. As you can see, it's quite big canvas, which I can place any objects on top of that. I can add adaptive views, which would make it responsive, but that's for later sessions. What I can do next is to work with libraries. By default, you're going to see them down below, and you can either add new libraries, which you can download and buy from the internet, or you can just use default. For this session, let's just make something really quick, and so that you can actually learn really quick to get started. I guess this is going to be my header. It's gray. I'm going to add a logo, just a placeholder for now, and as you can see, you can drag and drop different objects. You can add text and easily edit it. Let's say call our product Hello World. As you can see on the right hand side, you're gonna have style, interaction and notes. The style being everything to do with style. Adjust some parameters, colors, sizes, layouts, margins, yada yada yada, all those different bits. I can use different fill colors for a layout. Let's make it not as horrible green. The text color, let's say white. We can change it to different fonts. You know, the typical behavior you would expect from prototyping tool. If you select an object, you can basically do it something here. Another pane which is really important, besides the libraries, pages, where you can add new pages, is interactions. And is by far the most important bit, which I'm gonna go deeper in other phases. Just to demonstrate really quickly, if I add a new page and second page, and I selected this logo, Axure 9 suggests different common interactions based on what object it is, which is really good. You don't even have to think twice. You can just click, open link, exactly what we need, and select second page as destination. Say OK, and every time user would click on that, it would just open second page. And this is a good segue to a next bit, how to preview or share your prototype. Every time you make a change, a good practice is to just preview every once in a while. So let's say if I made a big change just to see what happens, here's my header for a prototype. I can remove this bit and share a link with my friends. This is locally hosted prototype. If you share it on Axure Cloud, you can actually share a link and add password if you want it to be private, but let me demonstrate what happens to this prototype. Let's say this was the hotspot. As you can see, the mouse cursor changes. I click on it and I land on second page. So simple as that. And that's basically how you get started. You drag and drop different elements. You can add tables, you can add drop lists, you can add text fields, you can add checkboxes, radio buttons, and make prototype happen from like a low fidelity wireframe to high fidelity wireframe. If you want to add some logic to those elements, you just use interaction pane or style pane if you want to stylize it. Add some notes. Let's say if you want to add to one element specific notes and let your teammate know, you can do it there. It's easy as that. And everything else you see on the top is quite important, but it's not as important as just elements I showed you now, because they're quite self-explanatory. It's selection mode, you can connect different elements if you're doing, let's say, some sort of graphs. As you can see, it goes from there to there. If you're making some sort of service blueprint, you can use that functionality. That's probably the only use case. Alternatively, you can add different elements. You can draw elements using vector functionality. You can add text, different shapes, and then modify it. So that's the simple basic bits of how to get started with Axure and how to take nothing to a prototype you can just preview and share with your friends. And as you can see, everything here is functional. If you like this video, subscribe for more, because I'm gonna be adding more videos like this and more advanced videos. I'm gonna take it as advanced as I can and make you a master in Axure. So stay tuned.